Do you know how hot the Calgary real estate market was for February 2023? Well, 39% of all Calgary properties sold in February sold at list price or higher. And there was a lot that sold at just a sliver below list price. We are seeing another hot month for Calgary real estate. What we're seeing on the ground doing deals and the avoidable mistakes we see buyers making that are keeping them from successfully buying a property in this hot market. Quickly before we start, our team is looking for one coachable rockstar agent that we can develop, train, and support. So if you're a realtor watching this and you want to level up your real estate career, please reach out to us. Or if you know a realtor in Calgary who could, use the mentorship, let them know that we're looking. We have systems, frameworks, 90-day training program, and assistance that they can leverage. And all of that is included. So overall, we are in a seller's market for all property types. Although the single detached homes and condos weren't as strong as townhomes and semi-detached homes, there was an instance where a foreclosure ended up with 30 offers. Another interesting thing that happened is that we saw builders who had a property already listed for sale and they raised their price. Now, if you're a seller listening to this, you may be thinking to raise your price, but that's not what I'm suggesting for you to do. I did make a post about this on our Instagram at Liveinnercity, which, by the way, feel free to follow that as we put out content that doesn't go on YouTube. But the worst part of the builder story is that they raised their prices after receiving our offer. And the listing agent apologized and said that they've been thinking about raising prices for a week. Least to say, our buyer was not happy. Here's another thing that happened with our Liveinnercity real estate team on the listing side. If you're a buyer, listen carefully because this could happen to you. We received an offer, and as a listing agent, we always ask, when was your buyer last pre-approved? And the reason why we ask this is because we want to accept offers from qualified buyers who've done the necessary due diligence and completed the steps needed to have the highest chance of getting approved. In this situation, I didn't get a good feeling by their answers, so I asked more questions. Long story short, I found out that it was a son and mother buying this property, and the mother is self-employed. Digging deeper, I found out that the bank account that she used for her business was closed 1 year ago. As a mortgage broker, I know that lenders need a 2-year history for many documents, which the mother didn't quite have. I know that getting statements from a closed account takes about 5 business days. In my opinion, it's not the smartest move to tie up my client's home, meaning to have it conditionally sold, wait 5 business days, and at the end of it, there is no guarantee that the mother would have been approved, even after providing those statements. If a property is conditionally sold, we cannot accept other offers with more qualified buyers, so we could have potentially wasted 5 days being on the market. My client understood this and agreed with me. So what did I do? After determining that the buyer really wanted our property and that there was no second or third option for them, I told them to get the documents in place, send it to the mortgage broker, and then rewrite the offer on our place. By doing this, my seller gets to keep their home on the market and has the ability to accept offers at any time. And if this buyer comes back, then at least we know that they're one step closer to getting a mortgage approval. I cannot stress enough, if you are a home buyer, you need to make sure you submit all the necessary documents to your mortgage broker. If they do not ask you for any other documents other than the application, you're running a big risk of not getting approved because they have not done their due diligence to confirm the information on your application. The bigger issue lies with the mortgage broker if they don't ask for these documents. Our job, and I say our because I'm a realtor and a mortgage broker, is to ensure that we put you in the best position possible to get approved when you find the property. An experienced mortgage broker would know almost all the documents a buyer would need to provide and would review them to verify all the information that supports the application, which is exactly what the lender will be doing anyway. So if we're mimicking what the lenders are doing and we can anticipate what they'll ask for and we already have those documents ready to give them, Not only will they approve your application faster, but do it with more accuracy. Here's an example of an email that we sent to our clients once we talked to them. If they are self-employed or have a business, then it does require a few more documents. As you can see, a lot of these are income documents with a letter of employment, pay stubs, tax documents, 90-day history for your down payments, etc. Once we receive this information, we go through it with a fine-tooth comb. This is the level that your mortgage broker should be playing at. And if they aren't, then give us a call so you have the highest chance of getting approved. Another example of why this process is so important is that we were working with a home buyer and they saw a property that was $60,000 over their pre-approval. After asking some questions, we found out that the buyer did not submit any other documents to the mortgage broker they were previously working with. We went through our process and we were able to approve the client for $60,000 more than what their previous mortgage broker told them. Guys, I didn't even introduce myself in this video yet. My name is Felix Chan, Calgary realtor and mortgage broker with Real Broker. Have you guys found this information valuable so far? If so, I would love your support if you could take 2 seconds and hit the like button, as that would really help support our channel. Also, I was wondering if you guys, our viewers, would benefit from having a private Facebook group so you could directly ask us questions. Please write Facebook group in the comments because we are toying around with that idea to support you guys. Okay, let's move on. Why is Calgary so hot? Okay, let's start off with travel, since that is one of my most favorite things to do. Porter Airlines, a 16-year-old company, just expanded their operations west to serve Calgary and Edmonton. One of the reasons for their expansion is the carrier is hoping the record number of people relocating from Toronto to Calgary will provide a foothold for its western expansion. It's going to offer 2 flights daily from the Calgary International Airport to Pearson International Airport. Wow, that speaks volumes about what this airline is seeing and their hopes of catching some market share between Alberta and Ontario. For many decades, Calgary had suffered from a lack of purpose-built rental multi-family complexes. Instead, Calgary has seen a lot of condos being built for homeowners. This next article from RBC talks about the demand for townhomes and condos going up given the lack of supply. It further says that statistics on migration for Alberta from the fall showed more than 104,000 people came to Alberta in the first 9 months of 2022, a 378% increase from the year before. Those are insane numbers. As a result, Calgary's purpose-built rental market vacancy had fallen to 2.7%, a low not seen since the end of the last boom in 2014. And the secondary market, consisting of condominiums for rent, has even tighter conditions with a vacancy rate at 1.8%. Hopefully this gives some context to exactly why Calgary's real estate market is so hot. By the way, guys, if you're looking to move to Calgary, I have 2 videos that would really help you. The first video is the costs of buying a home in Calgary, which also applies to you if you're buying a home in Edmonton. And the second video is your mortgage financing options moving to another province. On a high level, you need to determine if you'll be buying a property while you're still living in your current province, or if you want to move to Alberta first and then purchase something. I will leave these videos at the top here and in the description below. I've had a lot of viewers contact us saying those were really helpful videos, as it's given them a better understanding of the process. My mortgage team can also pinpoint what would be the best option for you, so feel free to reach out and our contact is down below. Since many of you guys are watching from Ontario, in my last market update, I shared a story about a client who was planning to refinance their home in Ontario to buy a home in Alberta, and the plan kind of went sideways. If you want to know what happened and how to prevent something like that from happening, or at least mitigate that risk, then check out the video below. Okay, so I have a very important tip for you guys when you move, because I've heard a lot of nightmare stories out there. So you want to make sure you hire a trustworthy moving company. I'm going to share my advice for home buyers and home sellers now, and then the tip after, so make sure you stick around for that. Home buyers. Okay, so you guys know how to make sure you have all your ducks lined up in a row for mortgage financing. Given the hot market and the multiple offers happening, you need to be writing offers for properties that are below your budget. I said this in my last market update, but if your budget is $500,000, you need to be looking at 450 or even 475 because it will realistically sell at 500 or more. Here is a bonus tip. Okay, if you need to squeeze out a little bit more of a down payment for your home, a suggestion I have, and of course, your parents and or grandparents must be okay with this, is that they could take out a reverse mortgage. There are requirements though, like they must be 55 years plus, have little to no mortgage at all, and a few other things. They could utilize this product to live a better quality of life. And if you've been a good son or daughter, maybe they'll gift you some of the equity for your home purchase. The best part, they do not need to make any monthly payments until they either move or sell the home and don't need any income to qualify to get this. This could be a win-win for both your parents and for you. It's not a solution for everyone, but it's a possibility. Even if you don't need help with the down payment and if your parents are cash strapped, this could be a solution for them so they can make home repairs or use it for other essentials like groceries or vacations. Reach out to my team below if you want more information to see if this mortgage product is a good fit for your parents. Home sellers, no matter what type of property you own, condo, townhome, or detached home, each segment is in a seller's market. I'm gonna share the statistics with you right after this, but you will see that sales have slowed down dramatically compared to the same time last year. But inventory and new listings is down, so there isn't much supply or options out there. Buyers know this and they feel the squeeze. So 1,751 properties sold in February, and of those, 684 sold at or higher than list price, and many sold at really close to list price. This equals to 39% of properties sold at list price or higher. What does this mean? It means that if you've been thinking about selling, now is the time. Now, saying that kind of makes me feel like a lot of the other realtors you see on Instagram.
It's a great time to buy. It's a great time to sell.
It doesn't matter what time of year or month or time of day. It always seems like a great time to buy or sell. It's like,
get out of here. Ain't nobody got time for that.
I share my thoughts based on facts and reason, not emotions, because I don't have any. Just joking. I actually cried in the theaters at the last Spider-Man movie, and it was embarrassing. Imagine seeing a grown-ass dude crying to the Peter Parkers in action, showing love to each other. Okay, so going back to the builder raising prices, if you have a home already listed on the market, I was not suggesting that you should do the same thing because everyone's situation is different. You may already have priced it high, so it wouldn't make sense to readjust it higher. And if you did list it at market value a week before seeing this video, then your property should have sold by now. Raising your price depends on a few different factors. First, your realtor must be able to identify what market metrics to use in order to evaluate if that makes sense. Second, if you have a higher price, then you may not get as many offers. And the more offers you have, the more leverage you have, meaning you'll get more favorable terms on pricing. Third, it depends on your timing. Could you wait it out for a potentially higher price? Now keep in mind that the market could turn and there's a chance that the opposite might happen and you could get a lower price. You need to determine if you have the risk appetite for that because it's a 50-50 chance. It could go either way. The statistics show that it is a seller's market. And with all the multiple offers that are happening, it truly is a time for you to consider it. Now, in all fairness, every year there is a seller's market, but the demand and the extent of it will vary. Some years will have better pricing. Some years will be a little bit softer. Right now, prices are great and average prices are higher now than they were the same time a year ago. If you want some unconventional tips on selling your home, and I'm not talking about, make sure you declutter your home and clean your home, then make sure you check out this video here. Okay, let's dig into the Calgary real estate statistics and my moving tip. Detached homes. Looking at the detached sales graph, sales were at a 10-year average. And if I pull up the new listings graph, you can see that we are below average and is at some of the lowest levels going back the last 10 years. Looking at average pricing, it is virtually the same price in February 2022 and is the highest at $679,000. So this is great news for sellers, not so much for buyers. Semi-detached homes. Looking at the semi-detached sales graph, sales were at the 10-year average. And if I pull up the new listings graph, you can see that we are at the lowest levels going back the last 10 years. Comparing the average price going back to January of 2022, semi-detached pricing ended up at $585,000. This has been the third highest price, and only March and November last year was higher. Townhomes. Looking at the townhome sales graph, sales have been the second highest going back the last 10 years. And if I pull up the new listings graph, you can see that we are below average going back the last 10 years. You can clearly see that we broke record prices last month in February for townhomes with an average price of $388,000. Condos. Looking at the condo sales graph, sales have been strong looking back the last 10 years. And again, if I pull up the new listings graph, you can see that it has stayed steady at the 10-year average. Prices aren't the highest, but definitely not bad going back since 2018 at an average price of $280,000. Months of supply. Okay, if you guys have been following us for a while, you know I always talk about months of supply because it's so important. This is the metric that tells us or gives us an indication of what market we're in. Buyers, sellers, or a balanced market. And what it means is, based on last month's sales, how many months would it take for the market to sell all of its existing inventory? In Calgary, between 2.5 and 4 months is a balanced market. Anything less than 2.5 is a seller's market. Anything more than 4 months is a buyer's market. So I'm going to talk about the January months of supply compared to February's of this year. So detached, it went from 2.03 to 1.63, a stronger seller's market. Semi-detached went from 2.03 to 1.82, again, a stronger seller's market. Townhome, 1.51 to 1.04, stronger seller's market. Apartments or condos, 2.42 to 1.78. So there you have it, guys, a seller's market. So it's a great time to sell. Moving tip. Okay, why this is so important is because I've heard some horror stories with people moving, such as companies holding your belongings until you pay more, or getting things excessively damaged, or you can't get a hold of the company and you don't know when you're gonna get your stuff. Now, I'm not painting all movers with a bad brush by any means. However, there are things that you can do to mitigate your risk. This website is to the Canadian Association of Movers, or CAM. It is the only association representing movers and storage companies. If you're a mover, you have to become certified with them. So this association does all the homework for you to ensure it's a legitimate company. Movers on this website probably won't be the cheapest, but like anything else in this world, you get what you pay for. In this instance, it's more peace of mind. Another reputable company that we use in Calgary is the Calgary location for Premier Van Lines. It's run by our good friend, Kevin, and they can do normal residential moves and even provide high-end service where they'll come and pack all your belongings, put it into boxes, relocate them to your new home, and unpack it for you. They even have storage solutions if you're transitioning between homes and need a place for your goods. Okay, a small reminder, our Liveinnercity real estate team is hiring. So if you're a real estate agent looking to level up, or you know a realtor who could use some support, let us know. Feel free to follow us on Instagram at Liveinnercity for content that we do not put on YouTube. And if you want to follow me personally, where I give tips to real estate agents and do crazy things like dip in the Bow River or run outside in -25, then follow me at felixchan.me. My name is Felix Chan, Calgary Realtor and Mortgage Broker with the Liveinnercity Real Estate Team at Real Broker, and we'll see you next time.